All right, guys. So we're going to kick off the 40-day health transformation challenge. And for those of you guys watching this video, you may not have been to the seminar yet, and you're going to get this video so that way you understand what the next 40 days is going to look like as you dive in. If you've already been to the seminar, this is just going to be a recap so that you can see what's coming up. But when we put this 40-day challenge together, the intention behind this is truly to see a health transformation. And when we look at this, the way you want to think about this next 40 days is it's not something that you want to do that you're going to check the box and it's just another challenge. And then after 40 days, you're going to go back to old habits. And when we start looking at this, in the Bible, it talks about um, everything that we do is going to have an effect. And when we look at this, the effect and the habits and the routines and the patterns that you have right now, good or bad, will affect you going forward. And the Bible says is that the sin that you create today will affect 3 to 4 generations to come, meaning that the bad habits, the bad healthy habits that you create today will affect your children's children's children. On the other side, though, when you embark in this next 40 days and you decide to break that chain and you decide to step into something bigger, then you also make a positive impact, not just for you, but this is for your children's children's children, just by this kickstart we're gonna have here. So this next 40 days, guys, I'm gonna tell you this: it's not designed to be easy, but it's designed to really create a transformation. And I'll tell you guys this: I'm gonna start off with a couple testimonies of people who've done this. And not only have they done this once, but this is also something that it should be sustainable. So these next 40 days is a kickstart, and then you should continue on with the habits that you've created here. So Paula here, she's done our challenges. She's been to our seminars, and I love this lady. She's done this for the last couple of years, and where she started in our office to where she sits today, 45 pounds less. I mean, that right there is a testament to consistency. And then we have Camden. Again, when I first met him a couple of years ago, just decided that, hey, enough's enough, and I'm going to make a change. And then you see him 5 years later, yet 55 pounds down. I mean, I guarantee you that if you put the work in, this stuff works. It's not a quick fix thing. This is a lifestyle change. So first thing we're going to do is going to be 40 days of cutting out processed food and processed sugars. And I tell most people that if you're going to do anything, cutting out processed food and cutting out processed sugars literally is if you just did that, you would see a transformation in your health because of how much processed food and sugars we are already eating culturally. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a commitment to 40 days of cutting out the processed food and the processed sugar. And this is a lot of boxed stuff, a lot of boxed foods. We want to get back to whole foods. And when you go back and watch the full seminar later, Dr. Lana is going to dive all the way into what whole food nutrition, maximize living whole food nutrition looks like. So she's going to dive into this more, and you'll get all the details there. But with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to prioritize protein. Now, again, all the details of this is going to come in the bigger video, but what I want you to think about is every day, whatever your ideal body weight is, that's how many grams of protein you want to be consuming a day. So if my ideal body weight is 200 pounds, then I want to make sure I'm eating 200 grams of protein a day. Couple things that this is going to do is, number one, protein is highly satiating, and protein is essential for so many processes in the body metabolically. So what's going to happen is that when you prioritize protein, you're naturally going to cut out a lot of the garbage that you typically eat. So we're going to start off with ideal grams of protein per ideal body weight. Next thing we're going to talk about is either intermittent fasting or intermittent feasting. So in the seminar, we're going to go over the difference between who should be fasting and who should be feasting. And as you're watching this, we're going to basically come to me, and then I'm going to help you identify which one you should be doing. A lot of people that should be fasting are people that just need to get going. They haven't really done a lot of things nutritionally, and they just need to get things going. This is going to help kick your metabolism into gear. If you're doing intermittent fasting, it's going to be a 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window. Intermittent feasting are people that maybe you're almost burnt your metabolism out by being overly active and your adrenals are shot, you need to really increase the amount of food that you're eating and how often to keep your metabolism moving in the right direction. So this is where you're going to eat about every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. And again, if you have more questions, we'll dive into this as we go forward. This is going to be our burn fat bundle. So with this here, each piece of the supplements we have in this bundle is going to be essential to help you get the best results. A lot of patients ask me, they say, hey, when you're going through this, what are you taking? And I just said, hey, these are the top 3 things that I take when I'm in this mentality of trying to burn fat and put on muscle mass. These are the top 3 things, and here's why. First thing is going to be protein. Once again, culturally, we're just not getting enough protein. And if we are getting protein, it's typically not from good quality sources. So the protein powder that we have in the office, by far, is the best protein powder I've seen. And I've done this for a lot of years. And you want to make sure, number one, that your protein is from a regenerative source. You want to make sure it's grass fed. You want to make sure it's not filled with artificial fillers or artificial sweeteners. And the bone broth protein we have is from regenerative sources. It's grass fed. And the bone broth part of this also is helpful because if you have any sensitivity to dairy, again, you're not going to have that here. So it's very, very clean protein. And it's a really easy way to help get you that extra grams of protein when you're going through the day. So definitely make sure that you're grabbing the protein. The Max Fit, this is essential for helping people regulate cortisol. We live in a very stressed culture, and in the seminar, I talk about how to regulate stress first. But again, to help support this process, Max Fit has ashwagandha root and green tea extract and just a bunch of adaptogenic herbs that are really helpful in helping your body regulate stress and bring cortisol down so that when you're in a less stressed state and cortisol is down, you have the best opportunity to be burning fat. So Max Fit is a great support in this process. Now, here's the other thing is toxicity. A lot of people, when they're going through weight loss resistance, they're not realizing that a big piece of this is they're probably toxic. And over the years, if you accumulate too many toxins in, what's going to happen is the body is designed to grab fat cells and basically surround the toxin to protect you. Problem is that the more toxins you've taken in over the years, the more fat cells you have encapsulating those toxins. So what we need to do is start to heal those cells and repair those cells. So the next thing we have is literally has all these amazing ingredients designed to repair the cell. So cell repair is designed to just do that. It's going to go in and help your body heal those toxic cells so that you can kind of push back or push over some of that weight loss resistance that you've seen. Maybe you've plateaued. This is going to help get you over that hump. So the bundle, it's not necessary for you to do the challenge. However, if you're somebody who's like, hey, if I'm going to commit to something for the next 40 days and I want to get the best results while I'm doing it, I highly recommend that you get this bundle. And this is going to be very, very supportive while you're going through the process. So nutritionally, that's that section. Now we get into the movement. We are committing to 40 days of movement. Guys, culturally, we just do not move enough. And here's what I'm gonna request of you for the next 40 days is a commitment to move your body. Now, there's two layers here. You're either gonna commit to doing 3 days of exercise and 4 days of active recovery. So if you're someone who just hasn't been working out at all, and you're like, I just want to start moving again, then you're committing to 3 days of actual exercise and 4 days of active recovery, where the 3 days you're getting your heart rate up, you're sweating, you're working, you're lifting weights, you're training, you're doing something along those sorts. Active recovery might be that you're going to be going for a light walk. You're going to be doing some light yoga and stretching. They're going to be doing something to still get your body movement, but your heart rate stays low. Or if you're someone who's already has a pretty solid workout routine, but you need to dial it in a little bit more and create a little bit more consistency, then you're committing to 5 days of intentional exercise, and then you have 2 days of active recovery. Here's the difference, guys. What I want from you is this. I want you to move your body consistently for 40 days. There shouldn't be a day where you just sit on the couch and do nothing. Okay? So 40 days of intentional movement. Then we're going to get into 40 days of prayer. And I'm going to intentionally say prayer. I think that when we look at all things we do, I don't think there should be a hierarchy of separation where we separate God away from things that we do in life. I think that God should be in the center of everything we do. And if we want it to be successful, he's got to be there. So what I'm going to ask for is 40 days of intentional prayer. Now, this is 20 minutes a day where you're going to spend time in prayer. You're going to spend time in gratitude, thanking God for all the blessings that you have in your life. This is going to be a tough road. And the reason why we say prayer needs to be in a weight loss challenge is because if you're in making a covenant to yourself to kick your life into gear, guess who's going to be coming after and attacking you? The enemy. So what we want to do is we want to put you in a state of prayer to keep the enemy away so that way you can be focused and that you can be dialed in for the next 40 days. So as a resource for this, if you're someone who's sitting there and you're like, listen, I don't even spend 5 minutes a day in prayer, which again, transparently speaking, this was a big thing for me, just being more consistent in my prayer time. So if you're someone who's like, man, I don't even know what I would do for 20 minutes, that's totally okay. Part of the resources that we're going to give you is you're going to get a video sent to you on walking you through how to spend an effective 20 minutes with God. How do you give God 20 intentional minutes a day? And we created a video that's going to walk you through exactly how to do that intentionally. So that's coming your way. Then 40 days of adjustments or home care. This is basically, I'm not telling you that you need to be adjusted for 40 days in a row. What I'm saying is that I want you to prioritize your nervous system and your spine for 40 days. I want you to maintain that your regular adjustment routine in the office. And I also want you to make sure that you're going to commit to your spinal home care for 40 days in a row. Now, again, this one here, I'm going to say this one shouldn't be a challenge. This should be something we're already doing. And if you're not, that's okay. That's where this comes in. This is a challenge. It's about not being perfect. It's about dialing things in to make sure that we're consistent. So it's creating more consistency with prioritizing your spine and your nervous system. Because again, if you're a patient, then you understand that the nervous system is what regulates every system in your body. And if your nervous system is out of balance, then you're not going to be losing weight effectively. You're not going to go through this thing as clear as you should. So we're going to prioritize adjustments and home care. Last but not least, we are going to do 40 days of cold plunge or cold shower. This is 40 days of cold exposure. This is everyone's favorite. And I have so many things that we're going to share with you, but if you've never done cold exposure, this is going to be a massive game changer for you physically and emotionally and spiritually. If you're used to doing this, fantastic. We're going to commit to 40 days of doing this. And however you've done it, the part of us doing it now is helpful because maybe you don't have an ice bath at home. If you have a swimming pool is like 50 degrees right now, so you can jump in your pool. If you don't have a pool, find a friend who's got a pool. And if you don't know anyone who has a pool, then that's where the cold shower comes in. And if you get up in the morning, first thing, I promise you that water is cold. Now, here's where this plays in. When you do cold immersion, it does a couple things. Number one is it's going to help with brown fat. So brown fat is your metabolic fat. It's your thermogenesis in your body. So what we're going to do is we want to be switching your body from white fat, which is that fat we don't like on our body. We want to be moving white fat to brown fat. And the brown fat is going to increase your metabolism to help your body burn fat at rest. So literally being in cold immersion will help do this. The other thing it's going to do something called cognitive resiliency, which means it's going to help your body regulate stress in a normal everyday environment. And here's how this works. If I were to put my water into an ice bath right now, put my body into an ice bath, initially it sucks, and your primal instinct is to not breathe and to tighten every muscle and to go into this shock mode, right? It's this fight or flight mode. Now, what happens is that when you're practicing this and you're doing this 3 to 5 minutes, right? Whether it's your shower or your cold bath, you're doing 3 to 5 minutes. And for you to go into that intentionally and have to control my breath, control my mind, control my body, relax my muscles, that time right there is what helps you regulate stress in other areas. So we're going to be doing 3 to 5 minutes of cold shower or cold water. It's going to help with your mind with stress. It's going to help with brown fat, and it also helps with inflammation. Just getting your body your inflammation down in your body, easy. So this is our 40 days. Those are our 5 things. Now, here's what you're going to get in your challenge. So first thing you're going to get is an in-body scan. Again, if you're a patient, you've had one of these before, but we're going to use this as a way to specifically track you through this process, so that way we can be intentional and specific with your body composition changing. We don't want to just look at a number on a scale. We want to actually see, hey, are you adding lean muscle mass to your body? And are you actually losing fat off of your body? And get really, really intentional. So there's going to be a separate video where I'm going to dive into the details of how to understand your reading. So you're going to get a in-body scan to start the challenge, and then you're going to get an in-body scan to complete the challenge at the end. Next thing is going to get some nutritional resources. So we want to make this nutritional piece as simple as possible. So we've come up with what we call our worst to best nutritional sheet. And what this is going to help you do is when you're navigating the grocery store, or when you're looking at what food to feed your family, like, we realize that you can't be perfect and get the best options every single time. So we made a document to help you understand, like, hey, here is what the best options are. And if that's not available, whether that's financially or if it's just not there, then we're going to show you what are the next best options all the way down. And there's we even put together some sample eating, like what should you be eating in a day, to give an example of what that should look like. And again, if you're not at the seminar and you're getting this video, make sure that you go see the team to get all of these resources so that you're set up for this next week. And then this is the fun one. You're going to put together what we call Shop with the Docs. So this is so neat. A lot of patients always say, Dr. Mike, I don't understand how to go to the grocery store. I don't understand how to read food labels. I get lost when I'm going through. So we decided to make it really simple. What we're going to do is the Wednesday after the seminar, that Wednesday at 6:15, and then Thursday at 2:30 are going to be 2 time slots. We're going to meet at Sprouts, and Dr. Olivia and myself are going to walk you through how to shop through the grocery store. We're literally going to take you through and show you exactly what to buy, exactly how to read food labels. We're going to walk you through the whole entire store and answer any questions you have about navigating the grocery store to make this easy. The goal is to show you exactly what we do, again, so that way we can eliminate any issues. So if you want to take part in this, again, you're not going to be at the seminar to sign up, so make sure you text the office the day that you would like to be there, either Wednesday night at 6:15 or Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Text the office what time slot you want, and do it as fast as you can before these fill up, okay? Then you're going to grocery store guideline. This is also, again, it's going to be just a physical resource to help you navigate the grocery store and some tips when you're shopping. Exercise routine. You're going to have a programmed exercise routine. This is like a lot of people, whether you have a gym, maybe you don't have a gym, maybe you don't even know what to do workout wise. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do for 5 days a week or 3 days a week. Well, we actually put together 28 days of exercises that are for you. And this is probably the biggest resource to help people navigate what to do fitness wise. There's 28 days, and the goal is that you want to be doing these workouts, and then, make sure that you're testing yourself. So do each workout for 28 days, and then do it again, and then try to get a little better. And then if there's any questions that you have about any movements on there or any of the exercises, any one of the staff members can help answer those questions as we go. So you're going to have that. Coaching groups. You're going to get put into a coaching group. So everyone doing this challenge is going to get divvied up into groups where we can now, between myself and the different team members in the office, we can be really intentional to help coach you through what this looks like all the way through the challenge. So any struggles you're having, we want to help you through that. We want to be accountability buddy and help you walk through this challenge. If there is any wins, again, we want to celebrate that as a group. So we're going to be setting you up where you're going to have very, very specific coaching all the way through this 40 days to keep you successful. Now, to wrap this up, one more success story. This is another couple who came in and they were like, hey, listen, we understand that our health has gotten away from us and it's done that for too long, and we need to get this thing back on track. And this is what it looks like when I always ask people, what would your health look like if you committed to yourself for 1 year? If you said, I'm tired of being in pain, I'm tired of being overweight, tired of not being healthy, and you said, I'm going to give it 1 year for my best. That's what they did. And this is what happened. Together, they lost over 100 pounds in in 1 year of really putting everything to the test. So here's the thing. This thing works. This isn't just some thing that we Googled and thought it was a good idea. Like, we've done this time and time again with patients, and the success is here. So if you're ready to step into this, this is going to start on March 4th. Is going to be the day one of the challenge. So again, if you're seeing this, you need to make sure that you get your in-body scan beforehand. You need to make sure that you're registered so that we can get you into a coaching group, get you all the resources. Another resource that we're going to have is called a habit tracker. So along the way, all these 5 things that you're going to be responsible for, we're going to give you something that you can actually check mark to make sure you're getting everything done. So make sure that you get connected with the team to sign up if you haven't already. Make sure that you reach out to the office to get your bundle, to make sure that, again, you can have that to make sure you're prepared for this next 40 days. And any questions that you have about this, please text the office, reach out to us so that we can help walk you through this process together. I'm super excited to go along this with you and kick some butt. So I'll see you in the office.